The corridors of the Starfleet flagship Aurora's edge hummed with the usual tension that accompanies interstellar diplomacy. Officers hurried between stations, star charts flickering across their holoscreens, and somewhere deep in the ship, Captain Liora Veyran's footsteps echoed with quiet authority. Her presence alone demanded attention, though she was rarely one to indulge in displays of command. Liora's eyes, a piercing silver gray, scanned the bridge as she stepped into the main observation deck. The crew turned instinctively, sensing the shift in atmosphere. Even Commander Rax, the ship's second-in-command, stiffened slightly, though he had worked under her for years. The rumor had already spread through Starfleet. This captain was unlike any other, and she answered to no one but the mission. And tonight, that mission would be tested. A distress beacon pulsed on the edge of charted space. It was not the first signal to reach them, but there was something in its transmission, a subtle, almost imperceptible pattern, that made Liora's gut tighten. She had trained herself to trust instinct as much as logic. "Commander Rax," she said, voice calm but carrying a weight that silenced the low murmurs of the bridge crew, "set a course for the signal. Maximum warp, but maintain stealth protocols." The command was delivered without hesitation. Yet as they accelerated into uncharted space, attention settled over the crew like a heavy fog. The Starfleet officers weren't used to a captain who operated in quiet unpredictability. Most expected orders, strict procedure, and diplomacy, yet Liora preferred a subtler power, one that didn't shout but silenced. The source of the beacon soon revealed itself, an abandoned space station orbiting a dying star, partially cloaked in a radiation field that made sensor readings erratic. The station, a relic of the old United Systems coalition, was rumored to house artifacts of immense power. No one in Starfleet had been authorized to enter, but Liora, as always, did not care who was watching. She assembled a team, Rax, a pair of tactical officers, and a small science crew. As they boarded the shuttle, the usual chatter fell into a stunned silence. The ship's personnel exchanged uneasy glances. They had seen strange things before, but Liora's confidence was unnerving. She didn't explain herself, nor did she offer reassurance. Her presence alone was enough. The shuttle docked with the station's central hub, and the airlock hissed open. Inside, the station was a ghostly maze of corridors and chambers, half buried in shadows. Sensors indicated life forms, but they were faint, perhaps residual holographic projections, or something more insidious. "Stay alert," Liora said, her voice cutting through the hum of the ship's ventilation. "And keep formation. Nothing moves without my command." They moved through the corridors cautiously, discovering strange inscriptions etched into the walls. Symbols that pulsed faintly with an alien energy. The science officer, Taryn, tried to analyze them, but her instruments couldn't make sense of the energy readings. "It's almost as if the station itself is alive," Taryn muttered, eyes wide. Liora nodded but did not respond. Her attention was elsewhere. She paused, hand hovering over the plasma rifle she carried, not because she expected combat, but because she trusted her instincts more than sensors. And the instinct screaming now was danger. They reached the central chamber. At its core floated a sphere of shimmering light, rotating in slow, hypnotic patterns. The beacon's source. But before they could react, a figure emerged from the shadows, a humanoid in a Starfleet uniform, yet his movements were unnaturally precise, almost mechanical. "Captain Veyran," he said, voice resonant. "You should not have come." Liora didn't flinch. She stepped forward, scanning the figure with sharp, calculating eyes. "Explain who you are," she said, her tone carrying a weight that silenced even the automated alarms embedded in the chamber. The figure's helmet retracted, revealing a face identical to her own, or a mirror image distorted by time and technology. "I am what Starfleet could have become," he said. "A perfected version. You are outdated, bound by ethics, constrained by fear. Stand down, Captain, or witness annihilation." Her team tensed, weapons raised. But Liora lifted a single hand, and in that instant, all fear seemed to evaporate. "Everyone freeze," she commanded. Her voice resonated with a strange authority, almost amplified by the station's alien systems. "Do not move until I give the order." Even her guards, who were trained to respond instantly to danger, halted mid-step. Her command carried a weight beyond authority. It was a tangible force, silencing the mechanical menace before them. The air seemed to hum with anticipation, as if waiting for her next move. "I don't care who's watching," she said, turning slightly so the figure could see her eyes. "I act for the mission, for my crew, for what's right. Not for approval, not for fear." The doppelganger tilted his head, analyzing her. And in that pause, the sphere pulsed violently, sending ripples of energy through the chamber. The station began to shake. "Get ready," Rax shouted, snapping out of the trance. But Liora raised a hand, and the crew froze again. Though this time, the command was subtler, a suggestion carried through the tension in her voice. "Trust me," she said. Then, ignoring protocol entirely, she stepped toward the sphere. Her fingers hovered near its surface, and without touching it, the energy calmed. The doppelganger staggered back, as though resisting a force he could not understand. "Impossible," he whispered. You have no right to command this." "I have no right but necessity," Liora replied. "And necessity is greater than protocol." The sphere began to shrink, condensing into a single, glowing crystal. The energy it released filled the chamber with a soft light, revealing hidden inscriptions throughout the walls, warnings, instructions, and a map of systems Starfleet had never known existed. "Captain, what just happened?" Taryn whispered, awe in her voice. Liora turned, her expression softening for the first time. "We just got the knowledge that Starfleet didn't know it needed, and we survived because we acted, not hesitated." The doppelganger's form flickered, becoming unstable. "This is impossible." "You cannot," he began, but before he could finish, he disintegrated into particles of light, absorbed into the crystal. The room calmed, the danger neutralized. Liora signaled her team to collect the crystal. As they prepared to return to the shuttle, she looked out the observation window at the dying star. "Even when the universe watches," she said softly, almost to herself, "we must do what is right, not what is expected." The shuttle departed, leaving the station behind. Yet Liora knew this. Encounter would ripple through Starfleet, though few would ever understand it fully. She didn't care who was watching. Her mission was complete, and her crew was safe. That was enough. Back aboard Aurora's Edge, the crew gathered on the bridge, eyes still wide with awe. "Captain," Rax said cautiously, "you just silenced a Starfleet flagship and defeated whatever that was. How did you?" "I didn't," she interrupted gently. "We did. All of us. I only gave the command. The courage, the trust, the action, that came from every one of you." The crew looked at her, understanding finally settling over them. Liora had proven that leadership wasn't about fear or control. It was about presence, confidence, and the unwavering pursuit of purpose. And in that quiet, a Starfleet officer could feel it. Some battles weren't won with weapons. Some were won with integrity, courage, and the rare ability to act when all eyes were upon you, and everyone expected you to fail. Liora's eyes swept the bridge once more. "Set course for the next sector," she said. "We have more to discover." As the stars stretched into streaks of light at warp speed, the crew of Aurora's Edge realized something profound. Their captain didn't just command, they inspired, and her courage was a force that would echo through the galaxy for years to come. And in that moment, no one doubted it. She had already silenced the galaxy with the power of a single, unwavering command.